So let's get started. So welcome. Tonight we are going to be talking about what it's like to be an online graduate student at WCU. We're going to share some resources, introduce you to some people who are here to help as you're a graduate student. So let's go ahead and get started with that. I'll introduce myself. My name is Kate Roach. I'm the Student Services Specialist here in the grad school. So I'm your point of contact if you have any questions about your student record, student events, anything student support related. You can always reach out to me. We also have our Associate Dean here tonight, Dr. Joy Bowers Campbell, and I'll let her take the mic for a second.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome. Like Kate, I want to echo just how excited we are for you to be starting your graduate careers. A chilly start, maybe even a wintry start to this spring semester, but we're looking forward to getting to know you and getting to see you succeed in your programs. My only kind of pro tip that I would say is don't allow being a fully online student to prevent you from really engaging with Western. All of your programs are phenomenal at including students. So we hope that you will also engage with the graduate school, and we have lots of opportunities for you to do so. Although you may live on the East Coast of North Carolina, you may live in California. So welcome, enjoy tonight, and go Cats.
Thanks, Joy. We also have the Dean of the Graduate School here tonight, Dr. Jeff Lawson, and I'm going to hand the mic over to Jeff to give you a welcome.
Thanks, Kate. So I have three pieces of advice for you. First is listen to the Associate Dean. Joy has good advice about getting engaged, getting involved. That's something I think that makes us special. Second bit of advice is to you reach out and use the resources. Now, in the orientation, you will learn about a lot of different resources that are available to you. Take advantage of those. Just because you're online doesn't mean that you shouldn't be using every resource at your power that's available to you. The third bit of advice is use the graduate school as your support system, even if it's just, who do I contact, or this is happening, or I don't know where to start. Don't hesitate to reach out to us, to any one of us, if you have an issue. Welcome to Western. This is exciting. Great new chapter in whatever adventure lies for you next. And I hope to see you online in the future. Bye.
Thank you, Jeff. So now we are lucky to have a handful of graduate students here tonight who are online students, and they are here to talk a little bit about life as a graduate student and answer any of your burning questions you might have. So I'm going to let them introduce themselves to you, and we're just going to work down the list here. So as they're introducing yourself, and I'm going to ask them a few questions to start off, but be thinking about any questions you might have. And you're welcome to put them in the chat, and we'll try and get those answered tonight. So Ellen, I will let you start with introductions.
All right. Hi, guys. So I am Ellen Little, and I'm calling from Houston. I've taken 27 credit hours, so I'm almost finished with the MS HR graduate program, and I've had a really, really wonderful experience in my time here at Western. So one of the questions that I was asked earlier to kind of prepare for, can you guys hear me all right?
Yeah. We're gonna let Mary introduce herself. We're gonna work our way down, and then I'll ask you all your questions.
Hi, everyone. My name's Marie Minster. I've started this program as I was in your seat a year ago for this, and I live out on the eastern part of North Carolina. I'm in the HR master's program, distance learning, and I've really enjoyed the professors and all the classes. And it's been a wonderful experience, very supportive school.
Kelly, are you on the call tonight? She might not be with us just yet. Sonia Jordan, are you on here tonight?
Yes, I'm sorry. Let me unmute. My name is Sonia Jordan, and I am in the master's program of science for nursing. I graduate in May. This has been really a wonderful experience. I also graduated from Western with my bachelor's before going into my master's. But the instructors have been very, very supportive. The program has been very supportive. And I've just had a very good experience with Western.
Thank you, Sonia. So we're going to jump into questions. I have two questions I'm going to ask you all. And Ellen, you can start and we can kind of work our way down the list again. My first question is, what resources do you wish you knew about when you started as a graduate student that you know now?
So one of the things that I really kind of kick myself for not looking into earlier, the the library. The library has a really wonderful program, and it is called Ask a Librarian. And I didn't find out about it until I was almost finished with my second semester, but that has been very useful. Basically, if you have questions, if you're working on a specific paper, looking for topics, you can submit a request for a librarian to help you find some resources. And that has been really very, very helpful for me in my last two semesters.
So for me, I also appreciate the library's benefits, but I use it more for the textbooks. You can log in under your my WCU account and search a textbook, and I love having a paper book in my hand to read, but being able to search the textbook is fantastic because if everybody's working, it's crunch time, you need to get your research done. It's very helpful to be able to do that kind of quick lookup in the library. Another thing that I found, and this might be geared more towards undergrad, but it was a degree plus program. And I started to look into it, and it's like, oh, all these programs are on campus, and it's really just an enhancement to your degree. It's not degree required or anything, but they have a whole degree plus digital program that they can put into your Canvas shell, and it's professionalism, leadership. So there's different videos you watch, and it's just kind of like reminders and helpful. And I can listen to them while I'm doing something else. And I found that helpful as well.
Okay, so I echo the library also. I wish I had known about that way earlier. And the assistance that you could get. I really didn't get into that until I started doing my research project. Um, in these last two semesters. I actually wish I'd known more about that when I was doing my bachelor's also. The library assistance has been phenomenal once I learned about that. So I wish I had known about that way earlier.
Thanks, everyone. My second question is, what is the best advice you would give for studying online? And we'll start with Ellen again.
One of the things that has been really helpful to me, especially, is I've been working remote as well. So when you leave your remote job to start your remote school, it can get a little much. And so what I do is I physically leave the room. I go to a different room, and something about that really allows me to kind
Ta-da.
of transition into student mode. I turn off my work computer and I go into another room. I open my school computer, and that really helps me to just switch gears and focus.
Um, my tips for studying as an online student, I also work full-time, but I'm in person. Um, First step, read the entire syllabus at the beginning of the semester. That's your contract with your professor. There will be no surprises, only a lack of preparation. So if you know that deadlines are coming up and you put them in your calendar at the very beginning, you know how to plan your semester. I create a weekly calendar on paper because the visual helps me. Sometimes things get hidden in my phone and I missed it. So I try to put it on paper so it's in front of me. I work through each module of the course and it allows me to balance my time since I take 2 courses a semester, and you'll find a rhythm that works for you. If you have a discussion board due at the end of the week, do not wait until Friday to make your first response. You'll need others to respond to you, and others will need to write something for you to respond to. And you'll understand what those are if you're not sure what a discussion board is. But you'll see what I mean, where everybody needs to participate early so you have the way to respond later in the week. Map larger projects out so you don't have a crunch at the end when it's due. Group work is best when you get together early and create a schedule and divide up the work between the members. Hold each other accountable. Have weekly check-ins to ensure a timely work product. And identify the skill sets of each individual and lean into those for better outcomes.
I too work full time and go to school online, and um the biggest advice two things. One is make a calendar. You have to have a calendar, and when you get your syllabus and see your outline, and know what your bigger projects are, know what you need to work on, to break it down into small bite-sized pieces so you can get it completed on time and not get behind. So calendar, I'm a paper calendar also. Not everybody is, but I'm a paper calendar. I like to have that in front of me. And I also like to mark things off. So just marking it off gives me satisfaction that I've completed something and being able to physically mark it off. The other thing that I would say is I have a family, and I'm married and I have children at home, and I have 13 grandchildren. And so sometimes it's hard to balance that life, work, school balance. But find time that in your week, schedule you some time that's 30 minutes or an hour for just you, something that you enjoy doing, something that gets you away from the work, away from school for just a little bit, so that you can refocus and get back into things and not feel so overwhelmed and get burned out really easy. So I schedule time in my schedule that's just me time. And I schedule time for my family also, but there's me time in there to keep me from getting so burned out.
Thank you all. That's excellent advice. I would echo all of that. I think it's really important to have balance and to try and stay organized while you're online. It's really important. Does anyone here have any questions for our 3 graduate ambassadors we have tonight? Well, if you think of anything, definitely feel free to reach out. And with that, our ambassadors, thank you so much for your time. I know everyone's very busy, so the time is precious, and we really appreciate you for spending your time with us and talking about graduate student life. So
I would like to give one more piece of advice if I could.
go for it. Yeah.
Utilize your resources, utilize your instructors, make them your best friends, and never be afraid to email them, because the instructors are always amazing to email you back and get back with you, but utilize them as resources.
100%. Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much. Good luck.
Good luck, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Alrighty, well, with that, we are going to jump into A lot of important information we have prepared for you all about a lot of different things. But first of all, we want to say welcome again. You are a Catamount now, even though you are an online student. We still want you to feel like you're part of our Catamount community. So, as others have said, I'm going to be talking about a lot of resources that you might assume would only be for residential students, but the same resources are available to you as online students. I've seen we have people here from all across the state, and I know we have students in other states as well. So we hope that you'll take this and it'll help you as you get started on your journey as a grad student. So I'm going to start off by plugging our information. So you can always contact us. Our email is grad@wcu.edu. So as you get started, maybe you don't know who to reach out to or where to start, you can always start with us. You can also call us. Our number is right here. And if you ever, lose this information and you need to find it, you can go to our website and find it at grad.wcu.edu. And I'll also say all of this is going to be recorded, and a recording of this session is going to be on our orientation webpage. So as I'm going through everything tonight, don't feel like you have to memorize all of this information. You can go back and refer to it later. I'll also plug our social media. So we have been growing our social media, and we would love for you to check us out. We have an Instagram, Facebook, and a Linktree at WCU Grad School. That's where you can find us. We also have a LinkedIn. And as you're doing things as a grad student, we would love for you to tag us. We really like to spotlight when students are doing things. Maybe you're traveling to a conference, or maybe you're just studying. Whatever it is, we would love for you to tag us so we can see what you guys are getting into wherever you are. And there's a few housekeeping things I want to show you. So first of all, your Catamount email, especially as an online student, well, all students need to be checking their email frequently, but for you all, this is your official means of university communication. So your instructors will be contacting you here, we'll be emailing you here, your financial aid information will come to this email. So definitely check it every day. And be cautious of forwarding it to other email accounts because we don't want you to miss anything. So if you haven't set it up, there are instructions right here. You can go to email.wcu.edu and set that up. But yeah, check it frequently. So our IT help desk is also a great resource as you're setting up everything. You can give them a call, or you can submit a ticket if it's after hours and you need some help. They're always here to help if you need help with Canvas, if you need help setting up an account or something like that. They're here to help you. So my WCU is basically where you're going to be to do nearly everything from registering for classes, accessing Canvas, which we'll talk about in a second. You can contact IT through here. You've likely already been in here, but just in case, I wanted to show you that this exists and also remind you you could customize this. So you're going to be in here a lot. So if you notice you're clicking on, certain things more than others, you can kind of customize it to look like however you would want. So definitely get the hang of my WCU before the first day of classes and know how to get in there and do everything you need to do. Canvas is going to be your classroom, essentially. So this is our learning management system. All of your courses will be in Canvas. But if you log into Canvas and you don't see anything yet, don't panic because sometimes courses aren't published in Canvas until the first day of classes. So for now, when you log in, I would just advise you to get the hang of navigating Canvas. There's a lot of tutorials online and on YouTube that can kind of show you the ropes, especially the calendar feature. As one of our ambassadors mentioned, having a calendar is super important to keep up with all your deadlines. So definitely get used to this and figure out, how to access your courses and where they keep the syllabus and things like that. If you are a SPED student, meaning you're a special education student, you might already have a module in there ready for you that's required. So definitely check that out if you're a SPED student. Also, as an online student, you can still have a CAT card. You'll definitely want a CAT card if you want to ever, have a student discount, or maybe if you're ever on campus, and you happen to go to the library for whatever reason, you want to check something out, you can use your CAT card. So to get one, all you need to do is email catcard@wcu.edu, and you're going to send them your information. So your 920, which is your student ID, your address, your name, and a photo of yourself. And it's going to be a photo like you would have on your driver's license. So pretty straightforward. But if you email all of that to them, they will mail you a CAT card. So although your campus is online, all of the resources here extend to you all online. So I wanted to show you briefly everything that we have to offer, and I would encourage you to look into it if any of this seems like it would be helpful to you. So the first thing is our CAPS office. This is our counseling center. They offer virtual and in-person counseling at no cost. So if you want to make an appointment, you can contact them through this number here, or go to caps.wcu.edu. Another helpful office is our MAPS office. It stands for Mentoring and Persistence to Success. So this office is specific for first generation and independent students. So if you feel like you fall into that category and you want to see how MAPS can support you, you can learn more information by going to their website or reaching out to them at this number here, or maps@wcu.edu is their email address. We also have a bookstore. So in graduate school, you may need to purchase books. There's also the library available, which we'll talk about in a second, but you are able to order books through the bookstore. You don't have to, but it is available, and they will have a lot of the books you might need. You would also purchase your graduation merch through here when the time comes, and they also just sell general WCU merch if you're interested in that. So Hunter Library, we talked about this a little bit. It's a really, really good resource for you when you're doing any kind of research. So there are specific resources available just for distance students. As one of our ambassadors mentioned, there's a chat with a librarian where they can help you find something you might need or direct you to where you need to go. So definitely use this, especially when you're researching things for papers or projects or anything like that. There's also other resources available that are specifically for distance students. So WCU offers a tutoring support service called BrainFuse. And if you go to their website, you can learn more about that. But it's essentially a tutoring service for those who might not be able to come in person to places like the Writing and Learning Commons, although the Writing and Learning Commons is starting to do virtual appointments for students. And what they do is essentially they can help you with your writing, they can help you with formatting. So anything writing related, the Writing and Learning Commons is here to support you with that. Also, CCPD, which stands for Center for Career and Professional Development. They are an office dedicated to helping you with your career goals. So that could be formatting your resume. They also do mock interviews. So if you want to practice doing an interview, they can do that virtually with you. You don't have to come in person to get that support. So if any of that seems like it would be helpful to you, definitely reach out to them and they can help you with that stuff. So another thing that's really important to know is that at the grad level, we have different academic policies than you might have had with your undergrad level. So it's not the funnest thing to talk about, but I want to make sure everybody's aware. Before I talk about it, I want to remind you that the graduate school is here to help, and there's a lot of people on campus who want to support you and want you to be successful. So if you ever feel like you're having trouble with your courses, or you need a little bit of help, definitely reach out to us or any of the offices I mentioned, or your program, your instructor, and see what we can do to help you. So with that said, we do have a dismissal policy that's a little different. One F grade will result in a dismissal, or 3 C grades also results in a dismissal. So we want to avoid that at all costs, especially because in the grad school level, let's say it does happen and you get an F and you're dismissed. And then maybe down the road you're readmitted and you return to grad school, that grade will remain on your transcript permanently. We don't do grade replacements. So it's just something to be aware of. Like I said, we want to prevent that from happening. We don't want anyone to be dismissed. We want to help you. So if you ever feel like you're kind of flirting with one of those grades and you need help, like I said, just reach out to us and we're here to help you. Another thing to know about is our stop out policy. Stopping out basically means taking a break. So students take breaks all the time. There's nothing you really need to do. Our stop out policy is essentially you can take up to 2 semesters off without really doing anything. You would remain active. But if you miss that 3rd semester off, then your student account would deactivate and you would have to go through the admission process again to continue in return. So that's just something to be aware of. If you ever feel like you need to take a break or you need to take a semester or 2 off, that's totally fine. You don't even have to do anything official with us, but I would recommend that you let your program know so that they can know what's going on with you and they can kind of help you plan a return, so you can come back and finish your program and graduate. So just something to be aware of. If you ever find yourself kind of unsure about how to stop out, just reach out to me or the grad school and we can help you with that. Another thing, transfer credit. We do accept transfer credit. Each program is a little bit different. So if you ever want to take a course somewhere else and see if it will get transferred in to your graduate program, just reach out to your program and see if that course is transferable for them, because every program is a little bit different. And then lastly, withdrawing. So let's say you find yourself in a situation where you need to withdraw for some reason. Maybe it's a medical reason, maybe you're just having trouble with a course and you want to withdraw for that time. Withdrawing is fine. But something to know is that there is a deadline for withdrawing every semester. So if it's the end of the semester, you might have already missed the deadline and it's too late to withdraw. You have to finish the course. So if you ever feel like you need to withdraw, try and do it as soon as possible. And if you're not sure about when that deadline is, the registrar's office has a web page where they will list the date for withdrawal deadlines. And you're always welcome to reach out to us too. So that was a lot of information. I know we're going to move on to some lighter topics and talk about professional development and some things that we offer to all of our students in the grad school. So one thing to know about is our Graduate Student Association. We call it GSA. They do a lot of cool things. They're very active this year. One of the things that they do is they provide travel awards for students. So this means, if you travel to a conference or if you travel, maybe you're competing or something like that, you're presenting research, something related to your degree, you can apply for a travel award and they could reimburse you up to a certain amount depending on what you did and where you went and things like that. So we do this every semester and I'll probably be sending out an email in the next couple of weeks with our new application. So be on the lookout for that. GSA also does networking opportunities at times, and they also have a student forum that they just started this year, which is basically a monthly virtual meeting where you can kind of chat about graduate school life. You can meet students in other programs and talk to GSA and all that good stuff. So they are posting on their social media. That's the best way to keep up to date with what they're getting into. Their Instagram is here. It's at WCU GSA. So definitely check them out if you want to follow what GSA is getting into. And I'll also plug that we are going to open our application for next year's GSA, probably in the next couple of months. So if you want to join and be a GSA member, then definitely apply online. We normally have at least one online student on our GSA committee. We like having, we want more online students to be engaged in this. So I would encourage you to apply if you're interested. We also have 2 events every semester that are basically intended to be opportunities for you to practice presenting your research, talking about what you're doing, and things like that. So one of those is the 3MT. It's our 3-minute thesis competition. And it's a competition where you basically have 3 minutes to explain your research, maybe some kind of project, and you're going to be competing for cash prizes. So it's an opportunity to win some money, and it's also an opportunity to practice talking about what you're doing in your research. And it doesn't have to be traditional research, so you don't necessarily have to be someone writing a thesis. It could be related to any kind of research that you're doing in your program. So I would definitely encourage you to submit. You can submit virtually, and you could win. So and we're going to be sending more information about this soon. The next 3MT competition is going to be fall 2025. So you might not hear about it until later in the year, but it's coming. The second event is happening this semester. It's our graduate research symposium. So we do this every spring, and it's basically part of a larger professional conference that we host called RASC, the Research and Scholarship Conference. And it's basically an event where both undergrad and grad students come together and present their research. At the grad level, we have 2 competitions. There's a poster competition and an oral presentation competition. So as an online student, you can still submit, even though maybe you won't come to the event in person. If you have a research poster, you can submit it, and our winners get prizes as well. So you might already be receiving emails about RASC, but I just wanted to plug this because we would love more online students to submit to this. So I know this was a lot of information. So again, this recording is going to be on our orientation webpage, hopefully by tomorrow. There's also on this webpage, if you scroll down a little bit, there's a section where there's videos that our service units have made to welcome you all. So if you want to learn more about any of the services that I talked about tonight, there's videos down there and links to their pages. So definitely check that out. And that's all I have for you tonight. So thank you so much for being here and spending your time with us. We're excited to have you. And we would love if you would complete a survey for us. We're always looking to improve our application process and our orientation process. So if you use this QR code here, it'll take you to a little survey, and we would really appreciate you for filling that out. And we're also going to stick around here for a little while and answer any of your questions you might have. So you're free to stick around and either put your questions in the chat, or you can unmute yourself if you want to. But if you don't have any questions, then thank you again for coming tonight. We hope you have a great semester. Yeah, thank you so much. And if you think of anything that you want to ask, definitely reach out, and we're here to help you. Thank you.